And the committee listened to them. And when they listened to them, the committee therefore made proposals that let Mitumba in this country be exempted, not to be VAT at 16%. Who is the beneficiary? It is the Kenyan. It is the taxpayer. It is the Mwananchi. And this is actually going to assist us as a country. Madam Speaker, we also have issues of the bill was trying to establish 25% extra duty on excisable value of telephones for cellular and wireless networks. This one, Honorable Speaker, the committee made proposals to ensure that we don't take the issue of excise duty further to the use of the phone. And they made proposals that this be removed. And Honorable Speaker, these are good things which the bill is trying to address. And I want members in this House to ensure that we critique and give proposals where it's due, but not actually to use it for political mileage. Madam Speaker, I think this is a very good finance bill, which we need to support as a House, and more importantly, to make it better for Kenyans and raise revenue, which is actually going to spur the development of this nation. Look at the roads, look at the housing network, and most of the things that are going on. Madam Speaker, I rise and support, and I support that we are going to bring proposals to even make this finance bill one of the best finance bills we have ever had. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very well, honorable members, there is a lot of kindly don't lift up your hands. I have you here on this screen. We have a lot of interest. If we keep it short, a lot of us can be able to speak. Honorable member for Kitui Central, Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to add my voice into this important discussion. Honorable Speaker, I've been seated here since yesterday, listening to contribution by honorable members. And Honorable Speaker, I think it's important we put a few things to perspective so that members can debate from an informed position. Honorable Speaker, this finance bill, this one, the green one, is a product of the executive. What did the executive do? They went through their own public participation, and this bill went through the cabinet. And it is after the cabinet's approval that now it found itself into this House. So what does it mean, Honorable Speaker? It means the intentions in this bill are what the executive intends to do to the Kenyans in terms of taxation, Honorable Speaker. Now, after coming to the House, Honorable Speaker, it was tabled and handed over to our Finance and Planning Committee. What did the committee do? They conducted their own public participation, and as a result of that public participation, we have a committee report. This committee report has not been adopted by this House. It is a proposal which will now be discussed when we go to the third reading of the report. So, honorable members who are telling members that the committee has changed anything here, we are here to do that as a House. So as we debate, we need to look at the intentions of the executive and the intentions of the representatives of the people who already we have a committee report which has come to us. So I want members to be free to debate the executive intentions and the intentions of the committee. Now, honorable members, this finance bill is going to amend a number of other acts of parliament, starting with the Income Act, VAT Act, Tax Procedures Act, and what it is doing, it is amending those other acts which are existing. So on the basis of that, for you to appreciate what is in this bill, you need to look at the original bills. And unless you compare the two, you are not likely to get it right. Honorable Speaker, it's important to remind the honorable members that this country has a document called Medium-Term Revenue Strategy, which provides a roadmap in terms of what we are doing with our revenue collection. And it's important you look at the macro environment under which we are operating. And that is the document which provides that environment. In that document, it is proposing that as we move to the future, it is important we move VAT from 16 to 14. And once you look at that document that way, then you realize that there are areas where we could have done better. And I want now to go to the document and put some comments, Honorable Speaker. Where this economy is today, Honorable Speaker, any government which cares about the economy and the growth of the economy is a government who should be thinking about putting more money into the pockets of people of allowing businesses to have more cash flow, so that on the basis of that, Honorable Speaker, then you can grow the economy. Otherwise, in a situation where you are taking more money from the pockets of the Kenyans, or you are restricting businesses in terms of cash flow, then you are not doing this country. You are doing the country a disservice. Honorable Speaker, I want to comment on a number of clauses, and for me, the punchline, Honorable Speaker, is where we are talking about putting people into the pocket, money to the people's pocket. And any proposal, Honorable Speaker, which is not putting money into the people's pocket, Honorable Speaker, then it's a proposal which should actually be rejected. The first one, Honorable Speaker, when you look at the bill, Honorable Speaker, initially, people would want to claim tax refunds on bad debt after 2 years, Honorable Speaker. What has this bill proposed? It is proposing that you push that, Honorable Speaker, to now 3 years. The only reasoning behind reducing the period from 3 years to 2 years, Honorable Speaker, was to push more cash to the businesses in terms of cash flow, so that they're able to do more activities. Now, when you extend that to 3 years, Honorable Speaker, automatically, Honorable Speaker, it means then business will not have enough money, and then they will have cash flow challenges. And as a result of that, Honorable Speaker, then you will be restricting the economy you want actually to grow. The second point, Honorable Speaker, which is critical. If you look at the clause talking about moving items from zero rating to tax exempt, Honorable Speaker, a number of items have been pushed under that clause, Honorable Speaker, and that is clause 31. Honorable Speaker, clause 31 of this bill lists a number of items. And I want honorable members to realize this. Anytime you move an item from zero rating to VAT exempt, when it is zero rating, it means you can claim VAT on the inputs to that item. When it is tax exempt, it means you can't claim VAT on inputs. So immediately you move it from zero rating to tax exempt, automatically then you make the item more expensive, because the earlier VAT on inputs will be pushed to the consumer, Honorable Speaker. And that's why you see the issue of Mitumba becomes very controversial. I know my colleague has said Mitumba is not being taxed. But what has happened, Honorable Speaker, we have removed Mitumba from tax exempt, but if you look at the original bill, there is a proposal to tax the income from Mitumba by 5%. Now, once you tax by 5% automatically, then the price goes up again. And these are the issues we are saying. So who is targeted when it comes to Mitumba, Honorable Speaker? The person targeted is the Kenyan who is at the lowest in terms of income bracket, Honorable Speaker. And what that does is then you make Mitumba expensive. And that was the intention of the government. So we are saying it is good that our committee has pushed out that element of profit. But yet, we are not yet there, Honorable Speaker, because, Honorable Speaker, you know, we might make our amendments here, and when they go to the side of executive, then the executive says they don't agree with us, which means you have to raise 2/3. If we don't raise 2/3, Honorable Speaker, then the bill remains as it is. And that's why we are saying, members, it is important that we realize we have to be careful, Honorable Speaker, that we are likely to see the price of Mitumba going up, depending on what the executive will do with our recommendations to change the bill. The other item, Honorable Speaker, is the item of rent, Honorable Speaker. We do agree that we have been paying rent at a uniform rate of 7.5% tax. Now, what this bill proposes is, if you are an non-resident, you will be able to pay 30% of the income which comes from that rent. The question is, I'm non-resident, but my house is in Kenya, or my mall is in Kenya. So the people using this mall or my house are Kenyans. If I've been making $1 million shillings in a month, and the cost goes to by 30%, I have no choice as a business person, but I'll push some of that cost to the tenant. And that's why we are saying again, by pushing more cost to the tenant, you'll still be getting more money from the tenants. And that means you'll be making things worse instead of improving them. So, honorable members, this item, while it looks very beautiful, honorable members, it is an item which we can controversial.
Dr. Makali, there is a point of order from Honorable Ruto.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. With due respect to my senior and my good friend, Dr. Makali Mulu, who is a well-known economist, I think on this part of non-resident rental income, profit out of it, we have to agree that these two people cannot compete together, a resident and non-resident, in the sense that the profits that are generated by non-resident shall be repatriated. So the order is, he has to be, the point of order here, Madam Speaker, the point of order here, Madam Speaker, is that I want to invite my senior in that aspect, knowing that the profits that are generated here to be repatriated is going to discourage economy, and you cannot have the two together to compete together.
Order.
We must provide an avenue for the local, for the resident.
Order, Boruto.
Thank you.
Honorable members, we had done very well, and we had actually done very well. Honorable Makali Mulu,
Yes.
treat that as a point of information which you had not agreed to.
Honorable Speaker.
Continue.
Honorable Speaker.
It is a point of debate. Continue with your submission.
Honorable Speaker, what I wanted to say is this. Irrespective of who owns the house or the mall, it is a Kenyan who lives there, and immediately the cost of that taxation goes up, that will be transferred to a Kenyan. That's what I was saying. The third point, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of VAT on digital services. That is, anytime you transact through your card or M-Pesa, this is supposed to be increasing, Honorable Speaker. Automatically, another good point of money being taken from people's pockets and not helping the economy in terms of growth, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there is a very controversial matter here, Honorable Speaker, and I want members to listen to me. This matter of the commissioner of KRA determining your tax assessment through third parties or through other information, Honorable Speaker, is a matter as a house we need to really take time and think about it. Because what it means is that they can use that data, give you a tax assessment, which might not be real, and by the time you start appealing, then a lot will have happened. And in a country where, Honorable Speaker, these things, we know what happens in this country, this is a matter we need to take that and think through. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, the issue, because I can see my time I'm getting short of time, Honorable Speaker. There is an issue of, Honorable Speaker, the issue of tax brackets. When I look at the committee report, a number of our stakeholders recommended that we review the tax brackets, and I think the whole thinking was the 30% which was promised. Honorable members, if you want to put more money to the people's pocket, and if the committee is really helping us as members of parliament, it is important we factor in new tax bracket bands so that 30,000 Kenyans who are earning less than 30,000 can pay lesser tax as it was promised by the executive. I submit, Honorable Speaker. Thank you so much.
Very well. Honorable member for Mavoko. If you're not in the House, Honorable member for Kitui Rural.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I've been seated here since yesterday. And, each side is taking...
Honorable members, order. You cannot purport to do the Speaker's job.
Yes.
At all. Honorable member for Kitui Rural, you're on the floor.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I've been seated since yesterday. But I will request members to look at the clauses critically. Being a member of Finance Committee, I know what we have done to what members feel they are clauses which are offending. But we also need to look at the clauses, two sides. One, what Mheshimiwa Makali has been talking about, the non-residents, and what Honorable Ruto has been talking about on the same. But you have to know when you become a non-resident, if you are away for 183 days, you become a non-resident. But the issue is, if I do put up a house in Tanzania, for example, and I'm supposed to pay 30% of the income as tax, as a landlord, I have three options. One, I can bear the tax. Two, I can apportion the tax. Three, I can transfer all the tax to the tenant. But who is the tenant there? It's a Tanzanian. So in this case, the tenant is a Kenyan. So I think it's important we look at this thing, both sides, so that we reduce some of these clauses. Madam Speaker, I've been part of the process of this finance bill, but what I've realized is that nobody really, very few people are talking about the good things in this bill. Madam Speaker, Clause 3 talks about tax exemption on gratuity payments to employees who are serving more than 3 years continuously. This clause has two elements. One, it has a bad side because it disadvantages employees who are having contracts of less than 3 years, and it also has its own advantage because it encourages employers to give contracts of more than 3 years, and is an advantage to the employees because they have a longer contracts. Now they can go to the bank to borrow and invest or develop their whatever. So I want us, when we are looking at these clauses, we look at the positive and the negative side. Madam Speaker, Clause 20, it talks about exemption from tax on benefit paid due to death. For example, if somebody dies and he has a pension, he's in a pension scheme, that benefit to the dependents, to the beneficiaries, is being exempted by Clause 23, which is a positive thing. I mean, we need also to look at some of these things. Madam Speaker, Clause 24B is proposing to reduce corporate tax on investors, non-resident investors in petroleum sector. Madam Speaker, you know how much we have been affected by the conflict in Iran. If we encourage investors from outside to explore and refine our oil in Turkana, the crisis which this country has been facing in terms of cost of fuel will not be having it. And we are going to create jobs. Because if we have fuel, then we are going to have petrochemical industries, and we create jobs. So that's what I'm saying. When you are looking at these clauses, let's look at them negative and also positive. Madam Speaker, the issue of betting, 20% tax on betting winnings, it has negative and positive side because it is trying to deter gambling. But you see, when we are out there, the youth, they are saying this is part of their income because they are not employed. In fact, I remember in Kilifi, we were told that nyinyi waheshimiwa mmekunjwa, so you cannot do anything. But you have to know we are earning income from this. So it has its negative and the positive side. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, on the issue of tax amnesty and what members have been saying, allowing the principal tax to be paid by that 1st of December. Now, the proposal is if you pay your tax, principal tax, by end of that 1st of December, then there's a waive for penalties and interest. And this one will ease the cost of doing business because, most of these tax issues have been in court, and therefore a business can be able to do businesses. Madam Speaker, there is also a proposal to increase free threshold from $300 to $2,000 to enable the people who are coming from outside. If you are from outside and you are coming, you can now bring goods worth $2,000 without being harassed by KRA in the port. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? So, So, Madam Speaker, I think it's important also. But however, there are also clauses which are offending, and as a committee, we have looked at them, and we have proposed amendment to these clauses. One of them is the proposal of 6% minimum threshold for undisputed dividends. Meaning what? Meaning, if you don't dispute your dividends, KRA will assess you and say 60% undisputed, you should dispute it. And therefore, they will tax that one. And therefore, that one is interfering. As much as KRA want to raise revenue, which is a positive thing, but it's interfering with the investment policy of a company. Because most of the companies, the small ones, want to retain dividends and reinvest so that they can expand. Madam Speaker, close to 2018, the issues of filing taxes, whereby those who have new returns, they are supposed to file in 1 month. After the end of the financial year, they are here. And this is to fill for 4 months. The good thing with this is that government will get taxes early. 2, the companies and the audit firms will be able to employ more people. Look at that. But it's also a cost to the business, because hiring people to do that, the audit firms will be overworked, and there may be issues of errors in terms of when we are doing the calculations. Clause 22 is proposing to remove preferential treatment on withholding tax for East African citizens, dividends. If you have a company here and you are from outside, then you are supposed to pay withholding tax. This one, as of course, is going to discourage investors from East Africa. 2, the East African countries can also retaliate. They can also put taxes on our companies. And Madam Speaker, I think we have the biggest investors in East Africa. They are Kenyans, so we also have to be very careful with that. Madam Speaker, on the issue of refunds, clause 28, being reduced from 2 to 3 years, and this is something which we have been debating on refunds, especially the refunds on VAT refunds, on inputs. Most of the companies have been complaining that, these refunds, they are not coming forward very fast, and therefore, this is restraining their businesses. Clause 31 on zero rating, moving goods from zero rating to exempt. If you move goods from zero rating to exempt, you cannot claim input VAT. The issues of transport, raw materials from manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, animal feeds, transportation of sugarcane, if you take that action, it's going to affect the prices. The prices will definitely go up. Therefore, but again, you also look at, we also been fighting what we call tax consumption. I mean, at 2024, tax consumption in this country was 510 billion shillings, which is quite a lot.
Your time is up. Member for Kegumo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I want to rise and initially oppose the finance bill as it is. And I think one of the things that we've had here a lot is the issue of the 30,000 that was promised by the executive. The people who earn 30,000 shillings per month, who constitute about 50% of all salaried workers. And among the taxes that the finance bill deals with, and I know, is the Income Tax Act. And we've not seen that anywhere. So it's very important that we point out that of all the promises that keep being made, that is another unkept promise that was made by the executive. I'll start by the issue of tax exempt and zero rating. And a lot of people do not understand this. And a lot of our people, and I think it's very important for people to know, once you hear a tax has been moved from zero rated to exempt, it basically means that item will have 16% more because the person who's selling you the item will not be able to claim input VAT. And input VAT comes from, among other areas, power, electricity, your inputs, And so when we hear that the proposal for the finance bill is to remove that for pharmaceutical products, it basically means that our medicine, and you know well, Madam Speaker, that SHA is not working.
What is out
that
of order?
medication becomes more
Honorable
expensive.
DK. Hold on, Honorable Member from Kegumo.
Point of order, Speaker. We know very well the function of this House, apart from legislation, is to make laws. When the member who is on the floor alleges standing order number 83, standing order number 83, shut up. When a member alleges that promises have not been made in this finance bill, while it is the function of this House to make laws, then what are you saying? Are you saying that you are impotent in your function? So our point of order is, don't bring allegations while it is the function of this House to make laws, and that is why we are discussing about finance bill. So if you want to introduce amendments, and you support them. If you have the
Honorable Member for Soy, you have made your point, but I do not hear exactly what is out of order. Honorable Member for Kegumo.
Yes.
Did you mislead the House in the matter the member of Soy has?
I simply said that, let me tell you something, Madam Speaker. The finance bill deals with the Income Tax Act, Excise Duty Act, Value Added Tax Act, Tax Procedures Act, and miscellaneous amendments, plus the Stamp Duty Act. So if the executive, because this document comes from the executive, it's from the Treasury, if they really wanted to deal with the issue of the taxes, they would have brought it. They would have amended the Income Tax Act. And that's what I'm saying. So you cannot, in fact, as you correctly said, his point is pointless.
Honorable Munyoro, I'm actually engaging you because I have heard you, but I also heard the member for Soy, because then you're saying the debate we are having right now does not hold any water, because it is also in our mandate as a House. And I think that is what Honorable DK has raised. Even as you debate, do not annihilate the same House that you're serving in.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think it's an issue of misunderstanding. I will bring the amendment. You support it, Honorable DK. But you
that
can't
is in
say,
order. Please continue with your submission.
Yeah, that if the
and all of you, honorable members, Honorable Amboka, you're shouting that someone is shouting. Everyone is shouting. And sometimes even the speaker is not able to hear exactly what to rule on. Can we just be having decorum? Let us hear the member for Kegumo.
Please protect me from Honorable DK. I'll appreciate. Again, a lot of English was used on this issue of funds. And I remember the CS for Treasury visiting shops in downtown Nairobi, explaining to people why they were consolidating those taxes. And I think our people are really not interested in what tax is where. What he should have explained is whether if this tax is consolidated, the fund will be cheaper or more expensive. That is the only point that Kenyans want to understand. So we've been taken round and round and round from excisable, Osoro, I'm an expert on this thing, my friend. I understand it. We've been taken round this thing, and we are being told that now it will be cheaper. But if you look at the cost of the phone, once it's at the shop first, how will they collect the money? Because if I buy a phone right now and give it to my mom in the village, and then once she activates it, she's told she owes money, who will pay that tax? And I think it's very important we be honest with our people. All we are trying is to raise more funds by creating laws that do not
Honorable
make
member
sense.
for Kegumo.
Yes.
Order. Do you want to be informed by Honorable
No. I don't. How can I be informed by someone with less knowledge than I have? Surely. Thank you. Yeah,
point of information, order members, point of information must be accepted, and you do not have to impute improper motive on your colleague. Just refuse the information. Yes, continue. You have your right.
Yeah, and I think another issue that we've had a problem with is the tax predictability.
What is out of order, Honorable Chepkonga?
Madam Speaker,
And make it a point of order.
Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 83. Madam Speaker, Article 117 of the Constitution is very clear. There is freedom of speech. You don't need to shout at anyone. You don't need to be hostile to people. You just need to be friendly. We are.
What is out of order, Honorable
Madam
Chepkonga?
Speaker, I am speaking on issues of accuracy, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Munyoro is my very good friend, and he knows I'm his good friend. He knows also, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members,
Order,
Honorable Chepkonga, do not shout across the aisle. Honorable members, you cannot, I have already said that, you cannot be shouting. But honorable members, my screen is full. So many of you want to contribute, but we keep wasting time on non-issues. Honorable members, if you rise on a point of order, make it a point of order. Yeah, Honorable Chepkonga, you've already taken 1 minute. You've not said what is out of order. Continue, Honorable Munyoro.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And please add me that time that has been taken away from my contribution. I wanted to say that we've had excise proposal of removing or changing the tax on ceramics from 50 shillings per 500 kgs to 50 shillings of the excisable value. And I think that also increases the cost of building. And I know as we continue saying that we are trying to protect the common person, we cannot obviously be taking more money from their pocket as we continue bringing new tax measures. The other thing that has brought a lot of contention here is the removal of VAT on clothing from 16% to exempt. Again, it just means that if you sell clothes, you won't be able to claim your tax. And that also means people will pay more. And this, Honorable Speaker, you remember, is we've been increasing taxes throughout this regime from when we started in 2022. And this tax predictability is where I'm going. With the scrap metal tax, we changed it in 2023, and I was privileged, I was part of the committee. We changed it in 2023, 2024, again we've changed it in 2026. It just means that no one can be able to predict properly, even if you are doing a business plan or you want to invest in that industry, where the tax will be next year. And again, we passed a bill here that tax should be predictable. The minimum years we should have is at least 3 years so that someone can be able to plan. And currently, if you are an investor and you come and invest in this country, it means that you will come with a tax regime this year, invest, and then next year, before you even finish construction, it's changed. And that makes it very hard to do genuine business. Scrap metal dealers are business people. They are genuine. Someone called them thieves. They are not. They are people who actually earn an honest living. They should have a predictable tax regime. They are business. They pay taxes. We've also introduced withholding tax on dividends from for
Honorable member for.
And I think, please.
Honorable member for Keses, point of information has to be accepted. Honorable Munyoro, do you want to be informed? You said point of information. Honorable Ruto. Honorable member for Keses. I am indulging you because you're the vice chair of Finance Committee. Are you on a point of order or a point of information?
Point of order.
What is out of order?
Thank you. The point of order, Madam Speaker, is under Standing Order number 83.
Honorable Amboka and team.
Honorable member knows very well. Is it in order for honorable member knowing that scrap metals as it is right now attracts taxes at a regime that is being prosecuted here to simplify? He knows well because the message here you want to give out to members of public is as though scrap metals are not subject to tax. Whereas it attracts taxes as it is.
You have made your point.
You should not mislead.
Honorable member for Kegumo, I would indulge you, even as you debate and all of us, that we stick to matters that you're able to substantiate.
So, but it's in the bill, Madam Speaker.
Yes, I am hearing you.
Yeah.
I am hearing you, but I want you to stick to matters that you can substantiate, without misleading not just the House.
How did I mislead
but
the House,
country.
Madam Speaker?
But the country. So,
No,
what Honorable Vice Chair has raised, could you respond to that?
You know, there is a proposal on inputting 5% withholding tax on dividends for EAC citizens. Is that true or not? So, what I'm saying is, Kenyans are the biggest investors in East African countries. What will happen if the countries decide to reciprocate and they give us a bigger tax? What will happen to our investors? Our banks are all over the African continent. So I think some of these tax measures have not been looked at critically so that we protect our Kenyan investors. And Madam Speaker, I think as much as we try and contribute, this interruption interferes with the thought. And I honestly respect Honorable Ruto, but you must protect other speakers from this kind of shenanigans. We are here on very serious business of rejecting...
Order, Honorable Member for Kegumo. Honorable members, even from my left, you have actually been interfering with the other members on the other side. Point of orders and Standing Order 83 are legal and allowed. Kindly complete your submission.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We've been very disciplined. And I wanted to say that we are here on very important business of discussing and making sure that as a House, we reject this punitive finance bill. We protect Kenyans from this regime that does nothing else other than trying to get money out of their pockets. We must reject. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very well. Member for Makueni, finally on my left, then we'll go to the other side.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me time to make my contribution to this very important bill that actually shapes our country. Honorable Speaker, I would first like to make two general observations. When you look at this particular finance bill, we are trying to raise the highest amount of money that we have never tried in this country. 4.8 trillion. Honorable Speaker, we are trying to raise the highest amount of money when Kenyans economically they are at the lowest. In my view, Honorable Speaker, this is a finance bill that is not informed by the context that we are operating in. It's a finance bill that is prescriptive but not proactive. So I think it is very important. Anytime we draw a finance bill, we are not trying a finance bill for Tanzania, we are doing a finance bill for Kenya, and we must be informed by prevailing economic situations and the livelihoods of our people. My second observation, Honorable Speaker, is that the entire finance bill, you realize that it is based on a capacity that we do not have on this country. When you have a finance bill that is going to have 1.1 trillion deficit, already shows you are chewing more than what we can actually consume. And generally, that is training Kenyans for no apparent reason.
What is out of order?
And we should actually work.
Order, members. What is out of order? Honorable Makilap.
Yes.
Honorable Makilap. What is out of order?
Madam Speaker, I rise under Standing Order number 83. Is it in order for the honorable member to mislead this House that this finance bill is trying to raise 4.7 billion, Madam Speaker? That is a budget of the country. The finance bill is trying to raise 98 billion, not 4.7 billion, Madam Speaker. So she is misleading the House, Madam Speaker.
You made your point, Honorable Member for Makueni. Give Member for Makueni the mic.
I think I'm very accurate, Honorable Speaker, because the money we are trying to raise in this finance bill, total cost is 4.8. No, there is the other bit, but I'm trying to divide them accordingly. Honorable Speaker, I need to be protected.
Honorable Member for Makueni. Do you want to be informed by Honorable Wamboka?
Of course not. Yes.
Honorable members, that shows you how you are accepting information without even hearing who the member is. Honorable Wamboka, you have the floor.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. The other side is harassing the good Honorable for nothing.
Are you informing Honorable Member
I'm
for
informing Honorable members that the member is right because all that we are doing is geared towards financing a budget of 4.8 trillion. So the member is right and the House is accordingly informed. Sit down and...
Order, Honorable Wamboka. Honorable Pukose, what is out of order?
You know, Honorable Speaker, when Honorable Wamboka stood, he was to inform the Honorable Member for Makueni, not the House, because what he's trying to pass across, Honorable Speaker, is misinformation. This budget, this finance bill is raising 90 billion. Secondly, this finance bill is not addressing the budget deficit as put by the Honorable Member for Makueni. It's not addressing the budget deficit. We are not addressing that. So, Honorable Speaker, I think it's important that when members stand to speak...
Do not debate, Honorable Member for Endebess.
No, I'm just putting... I'm not debating. You know the guys...
Order, members. Order. Honorable Kibagendi, take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Honorable DK, point of order.
Point of order,
Honorable Wamboka, Didi cannot inform you. You are not on the floor. Honorable DK.
You see, Honorable Madam Speaker, it is very important that when you are debating, you give also facts. And if you are giving falsehoods, you need to substantiate.
What is out of order?
What is out of order? The member is alleging that this finance bill is raising 4.8 trillion. You know very well, even the revenue we are trying to raise in this country is around 3.6 trillion, and the others is through debt. So this finance bill is only raising 98.5 billion.
Order. Honorable members, Honorable members, I know we have very many views about so many issues, but I beg you, because there is a member on the floor, she has accepted to be informed by Honorable Wamboka, but Honorable Wamboka actually said exactly what Honorable Susan said. You actually repeated what she had said. So, honorable members, allow me to give the member for Makueni, because she was on the floor. Honorable members, I will give honorable member for Makueni to make her submission, considering the standing orders, honorable member, statements of facts. Let us be careful in what you say, not to mislead not just this house, but the country. Honorable member for Makueni, make your submission.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am very happy that you are listening to me. The way you are listening to me, it means I'm making a point. And in summary, my point, Honorable Speaker, is very simple. Any finance bill must be contextualized. And the contextualization means must do analysis to deal with the issue in the prevailing changing economic situation. In this particular case, I'm saying we have a very ambitious finance bill that requires so much money when we are dealing with a country where the citizens are economically at their lowest. That is my very point. As for the figures, you can actually fill in the space. Honorable Speaker, to my second point, Honorable Speaker, to my second point, I said this. You know, anytime we try to raise money, even at a family level, you must look at the capacity of your people in raising Yes.
Honorable member for Makueni, by forfeiting your remaining 1 minute,
How can I have 1
do you
minute?
want to be informed by member for Kiharu?
Yes, but Honorable Speaker, it's not 1
You
minute.
have
I've barely
accepted
talked.
the information. Member for Kiharu?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me a chance to put more information on what the member has stated. And first of all, I want to request all members here that no one is a repository or a depository of facts in this house. We all have different views. Because as the member has put it very clearly, we have a budget of 4.8 trillion shillings. On the revenue side, there is ordinary revenue, there is A&A, there is grant, and there is, Honorable Speaker, the deficit. And it is only a deficit based on this House passing, Honorable Speaker. As we debate this finance bill, Honorable Speaker, members can actually come up with innovative ideas on how to raise more revenue, on how to raise more A&A, so that there is actually no deficit. So the entire amount we are dealing with is actually 4.8 trillion Kenya shillings, Honorable Speaker. And it is important for the members who are near me that we also respect the views of all members. Because the member from Makueni is actually making a very credible claim in this house.
Dende Nyoro, you have made your point. You have made your point, and the reason I've allowed Honorable Susan to make her point is because I am inclined to let as many of you speak, because we are here for that. We are here for that debate. So, honorable members, because my screen is still full, if we agree to keep it short, so many of you will have time to speak. Member for Makueni, kindly complete your submission.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The second point is based on the VAT on digital financial platforms. That is the Fulisas and all that. You see that when we have VAT on these financial platforms, most of the poor people access money from these platforms. They are not even included in the form of banks. So raising money on this financial platform is denying our people, the very poor, access to financial services. Honorable Speaker, no country that is serious and denies money to the very poor. Bearing in mind, since the Kenya Kwanza government came into power, they did away with the Women Enterprise Fund, Youth Fund, ASLA Fund, so the local people have no money to access. Now you are adding injury by now wanting to add VAT on financial services, meaning the poor will have no access to financial services. This is seriously suffocating the economy. Honorable Speaker, I have not heard anything significantly and explicit.
Your time is up, member for Makueni. Honorable members, before I give the next person on the floor, allow me to recognize in our gallery today, Siwot girls, I think senior school, from Kuresoi South, seated in the Speaker's Gallery, from Nakuru County. On behalf of myself and the House, and of course your Member of Parliament, Honorable Tanui from my county, we welcome you to the House to observe the proceedings of this House. The next chance will go to the Member for Marsabit, Honorable Naomi Wako.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to add my voice to this very important debate that is going on our finance bill, and again, to confirm that I support the bill. Honorable Speaker, I also want to congratulate the committee members who have given their attention to this bill and the entire process. I was going to read the report, Honorable Speaker, and what encouraged me most is the recommendation made by the committee members. Honorable Speaker, the committee members have suggested that we retain the strategic zero-rated VAT status for green energy items like locally assembled mobile phones and agricultural inputs. This will directly benefit all our business people who invest in this and who will continue investing in this and increase their businesses and their income. Again, Honorable Speaker, the committee members have also recommended that adjusting filing deadlines to give individuals a practical window of 4 months and corporate bodies 6 months to submit financial returns will be of great benefit to every citizen. Honorable Speaker, I've also looked at the bill and seen that it is caring for the citizens. The main objective of this bill, Honorable Speaker, is to generate approximately 98.9 billion in revenue collection. That will benefit each one of us, that will benefit our economy, and also bring stability. Honorable Speaker, again, the objective of this bill is to strengthen international compliance by aligning Kenya's tax framework with the standard global practices for trust and virtual assets. Honorable Speaker, Kenya is growing, and especially under the leadership of our President, who is so committed to growing this nation and to moving into first world. We have no other option, Honorable Speaker, than being bold enough to grow our economy and to also support all our business people, our citizens, so that we can all grow together. Again, Honorable Speaker, key proposals of this finance bill are as follows, and I will just pick on a few. Offering massive relief to workers by exempting employment gratuity from income tax provided to service contract covers a continuous period of at least 3 years. Honorable Speaker, many people who are working at the end of their term or their contract, they look forward to receiving their gratuity, and exempting this from income tax will give all the employees a big relief, and we will encourage Kenyans to work, and when it comes to receive their payment, then we have taken care of them because of exempting employment gratuities from income tax. That will help us to make sure that their whatever they will receive will not be interfered with. They will receive their package and they will benefit, and that will comfort them and also encourage them and motivate them. Again, Honorable Speaker, on value-added tax VAT realignment, the bill promotes green mobility, a technology by adding electric buses, bicycles, and others. This will caution Kenyans again, Honorable Speaker, because many of us will get into that and also benefit because we will be able to use less money in fueling and other things. Again, when you look at that, cautioning local industries and health by exempting scrap metal inputs for animals' feeds and also raw material. Honorable Speaker, many of our citizens work in this area and also earn their income from this. And by cautioning local industry, we will be able to help Kenyans to support their businesses and also grow, because when they grow, the nation grows. When they grow their businesses, our economy also grows. Again, Honorable Speaker, this bill, you can clearly see from the bill that the bill is aiming to protect agricultural supply chain, and the bill introduces VAT exemption on transportation of sugarcane from farms to milling factories. Honorable Speaker, what else do our farmers need? Because we have already introduced VAT exemption, and our farmers will enjoy, you know, when they don't pay for this transportation, they will enjoy their total income, and that means their income will obviously increase. Honorable Speaker, I have also looked at the bill, and what I have observed is many Kenyans are happy with the bill because we have increased education funding. The education sector is one of the main beneficiaries. We want our education sector to be stable. We want our young people to be future leaders, and that is why our government is investing a lot in education sector. And many Kenyans are happy with what we have, with what the bill is already proposing. Again, we have increased HELP scholarship funding, and many learners, many of our students are excited about this and looking forward to benefit so that they can get what it means, so that they can educate themselves and also lead this country in future. Again, Honorable Speaker, conversion of interns, 20,000 teachers to permanent and pensionable is what has benefited many families and what many Kenyans are looking forward to. By doing that, the government has stabilized and has helped the teachers who have always been interns and who will join the interns, but at the end of the day will be put on permanent and pensionable. Again, Honorable Speaker, in this bill, we have what we call support for the elders, almost 3.9 billion that will support our village elders. What else do we really need? And with those few remarks, I support the bill, and it is my prayer that we will all support and Kenyans will at the end of the day benefit and we will transform the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Ugenya.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this, Madam Speaker, this is not the first and the last finance bill. In fact, Madam Speaker, we have more than 60 finance acts in operation today. And that's why it's wrong to say that this finance bill is meant to raise 4.93. It's not. We got finance bills since independence. The only year we didn't have a finance bill was 2024. And so it's wrong for Honorable Ndindi to lie to us that this bill is the only one meant to raise the budget money. It is not true. It doesn't work like that. We have bills, finance acts since 1963, and all of them are resource-raising bills. We need to agree on that. Madam Speaker, number two, this bill has gone through a lot of consultations. There are things that are being said that are not true that must be debunked. Madam Speaker, on phone and telephone purchases, we are reducing tax on telephones from 55% to 25%. Yes. We are simplifying the purchase of phones. The only thing we are saying is that we don't want circumvention. People importing phones into Uganda, into Tanzania, they're getting into the country as if they are made in those countries, Madam Speaker. We must tell our people the truth. We are reducing the cost of phones, not increasing them, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in the morning I heard that we are increasing cost of medical supplies, Madam Speaker. And I want Honorable Jack Wamboka to listen to me on this matter. In this bill, we have reduced the cost of bringing in equipment for renal treatment. We are reducing the cost of items that deal with kidney treatment, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker. It's important, Madam Speaker, that we also say the truth, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this bill is not only about increasing taxes. It's about making taxation easier, making administration of taxes easier. It makes it easier to collect taxes, Madam Speaker. And so we have to be clear, Madam Speaker, that as we talk about taxation, we also tell the country the truth. The Mitumba traders themselves ask for tax to be classified as exempt. They said that putting us now on zero rating doesn't help us. In fact, they said that if you put on exempt, it makes business for us easier. Indeed, Madam Speaker, there is no reason for applying VAT on Mitumba because you're not adding any tax on it. It's making collection of taxes in that regard easier. And above all, it was asked by that industry. We didn't just wake up and put it, Madam Speaker. Okay, it's very important, Madam Speaker, to note that this bill does something that needs to be done in the country. We are losing 400 billion every year on tax refunds. Some of these tax refunds, Madam Speaker, are fake tax refunds. This bill makes it easier for government to know who is applying for tax refunds that is fake, which one that is right, so that we are able to put our money where our mouths are, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this bill is meant to ensure that those who are paying taxes today, especially rental income, Madam Speaker, I heard people saying that, oh, we are increasing tax on rent. It's not so. The truth is that we are making it easier for tenants whose landlords are foreigners to be able to pay taxes in this country, Madam Speaker. You can't be charging taxes on landlords that are locals, nationals, and you don't want to charge taxes on foreigners who don't live here and who we don't know where they live and who are receiving money in Uganda, Tanzania through M-Pesa. We want all that taxes to remain here, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've heard my friend talk about scrap metal. Scrap metal, Madam Speaker, is a source of steel in this country. But we are saying that if you are selling scrap metal, you've picked something on the road, you are doing whatever you are doing, that will be income. There is no value added on selling a car bumper. There is no value added on selling a sufuria that is wasted. So that's why we're saying that if you sell it, it will be income. There is not VAT charge, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's important that as we do these debates, we divorce politics from it so that we ensure that Kenyans know this finance bill is the most misinformed as it were, Madam Speaker. So I need us to say that as we go forward, Madam Speaker, let us tell the truth to the Kenyans. Let us ensure that everyone knows what's going on. I heard in the morning someone saying that we are increasing tax on sugarcane transport. In this bill, we are reducing tax on sugarcane transport, not increasing it. So if a member says that we are increasing tax on importing sugar, on transporting sugarcane, it's a lie. Madam Speaker, let members of this parliament tell Kenyans the truth. In overall, Madam Speaker, this bill is better than any bill that we've had in the recent past. It makes tax admin easier. It collects what we need to collect. But above all, it responds to the needs of Kenyans, that you don't increase more taxes and make their lives more difficult. Madam Speaker, those are my remarks. I beg to support.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
What is out of order, Honorable Pukose?
Honorable Speaker, I think we've exhaustively discussed this, and may I call that the mover now be called to reply. That the mover be called to reply. Put the question. Yes.
Order, members. Order, members. Shouting does not add to the debate. Honorable members, a member has risen in his place and requested the speaker to put the question that the mover be called to reply. I will put that question. That the mover be called to reply. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Order, members. Order, members. Order, members. Order. 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 Order, members. The question I have put is that the mover be called to reply. You cannot purport to request for division, and if you do, you know the numbers and the threshold. Order, members. The threshold is 30 members, and I do not count 30 members from where I am. I have counted. I have counted. Order, members. I have counted. Order. Order, members. Order. Order, members. Order. The numbers, you are 14 honorable members. You are 14 as it is. Order, members. That debate, that request does not get to the threshold. Mover to reply.
Thank you, Madam. I stand in. Thank you, Madam Speaker. With the debate that has been contributed by members, it is sufficient enough that this particular finance bill is seeking to address the main issues, Madam Speaker, and therefore I beg to reply.
Give me the mic. The numbers are 30, like you said. Yeah. Order, members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Our standing orders are very clear. The rise for division was defeated because the members on their feet were 14 on a required number of 30. Honorable members, the mover has replied. I will therefore put the question. You do not need to guide the speaker. Do not throw hands to the speaker. Honorable members, I therefore put the question that the Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2026, be now read a second time. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the laws relating to various taxes and duties and for matters incidental thereto. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the laws relating to various taxes and duties and for matters incidental.
Honorable members, we have counted the members on their feet. It is 27. And that request is therefore declined. We have properly done that and counted myself. It was less than 30. Next order.
Order number 9, the Kenya Revenue Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2026, second reading.
Order, members. We are now on order number 9.
Well done, Madam Speaker. I think it's done.
Majority Leader. Majority Leader. Who is moving order number 9?
Order number 9, Leader. Amuka. Leader.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Kenya Revenue Authority Amendment Bill 2026 be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me.
This is a straightforward, minor legislative cleanup to align our tax administration laws with contemporary realities. The bill contains critical legislative updates designed to streamline the administration of revenue collection laws in our country. Honorable Speaker, the bill introduces procedural and terminology updates to reflect the current corporate governance structure of the authority. This is a non-money bill under Article 114 of the Constitution and will not require additional public funding, and it fully respects devolution as it does not affect or alter any functions of county governments. The objective of the bill, Honorable Speaker, is that the primary objective of the bill is to modernize the Kenya Revenue Authority Act by removing obsolete structural terms and also seeks to synchronize the schedule of revenue-related laws with recently enacted and repealed legislation. The bill aims to clean up legal reference to ensure absolute clarity and prevent statutory conflicts during enforcement. Honorable Speaker, the proposals is that, Honorable Speaker, clause 2 clause 2 and 3 propose deleting the term ex officio from section 7 and 8 of the Principal Act, and this deletion is necessary because the term no longer fits the current composition and structure of the board. Honorable Speaker, the section of the KRA Act establishes a crisp board composition that includes the chairperson, Commissioner General, PS Finance, Attorney General, and 6 independent members. Honorable Speaker, clause 4 updates the first schedule by replacing the outdated standards levy order of 1990 with the current 2025 order. Honorable Speaker, the bill officially deletes the reference to the old repealed sugar bill. Honorable Speaker, I urge the House to support these non-contentious amendments, Honorable Speaker, to ensure our legal books remain clean, accurate.
Order, members. Order, members.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Osoro, hold on. Honorable Osoro, hold on. Order, members.
Let me proceed.
I know many of you really want to be thrown out of these chambers. I am not doing it. Honorable members, let us give Honorable Osoro a chance to finish up. We only have 2 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, this meeting adjustment shifts the board's focus away from day-to-day micromanagement towards sustainable long-term oversight, performance trends, and risk management. Honorable Speaker, I urge the House to support these non-contentious amendments to ensure our legal books remain clean, accurate, and functional. I now request the Chair of Finance Committee, the Honorable Kuria Kimani, to second. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Order, members. Honorable Kimani, hold your horse. Honorable members. Order, members. Order, members. Our time for this session is up. Order. Order. Be upstanding. Honorable members, be upstanding. Honorable Honorable members, and the time being exactly 1 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Wednesday, 17th June 2026 at 2:30 p.m.